The Philadelphia Eagles started out their season with a Week 1 win in Brazil, 34-29 over the Green Bay Packers. There were a lot of questions coming into this game about the Eagles' offense, specifically how it would look under Kellen Moore and how Jalen Hurts would handle pressure and all the motion in the Kellen Moore offense. There's certainly been no shortage of discourse since the game about how Jalen Hurts played. So let's dive into the tape and talk about what I saw. Let's dive into it here with the Eagles' first possession of the game. It is third down. They're backed up on their own goal line with a 3rd and 15, and this is the first interception of the game. The Packers are going to show a split field safety look. It's going to be cover 2, and the Eagles just try to stretch the safeties vertically with their outside receivers, and they're going to try to run up the seam, this goalpost sort of route, with Devontae Smith while blocking with extra guys to make sure we don't take a safety here. Now, on paper, this works. On paper, we get the safeties widening out, and we get a receiver one-on-one up the slot or up the seam against a linebacker. The problem is that safeties still exist, and Xavier McKinney is going to make a good read on this play. This is just a throw that you can't make. This is being too aggressive too early in the game. And I understand the thought process here. You like your receiver against a linebacker, but in reality, Xavier McKinney goes and makes a good play. This is just a really tough throw to make. And so the Eagles start off on a bad foot here, throwing the interception on the opening drive. Of course, they fumble on the second drive. So by the time we get to the third drive, you're starting to get concerned. And then I thought that the defense or the offense started to settle in. So on this play, the Eagles are going to motion their running back to the bottom of the screen, and this gives us a 4-by-1 look. We've got 4 receiving threats to the bottom of the field, only 1 to the top. We're basically isolating A.J. Brown and going to run this slant route. And you trust on this play that as long as this linebacker doesn't step underneath at the snap of the ball, and he shouldn't, they're going to be pushing things this direction, that you have that route. So we're just reading this guy right here. And as soon as he takes that step, we know that we just trust A.J. Brown's going to win inside. He does. That's an easy completion. So I like anytime you go 4 strong to isolate A.J. Brown in situations like this. Now this next play, there's some weird spacing on this play. The Eagles are going to bring Dallas Goedert across the formation. And so again, we've got a 4 strong concept. Like we just talked about, we've got 4 receiving threats on one side of the field. This is going to be play action. And Grant Calcaterra is going to run a corner route. But Dallas Goedert from the other side is going to run a crossing route. And they just end up in the same spot on the field. Similarly, we've got Devontae Smith is going to run a vertical route, while A.J. Brown runs like a deep curl route. And again, they're in the same spot of the field. So if you just watch this play, the spacing just seems all wrong. I don't know if somebody runs the wrong route, but look how close these receivers are. Look how close these receivers are. There's no stretch here. This cornerback doesn't have to pick between one of these receivers. He can cover them both right now. And now that A.J. Brown is breaking off, well, there's been plenty of time for this safety to come over. So just not a very good concept here. I would assume somebody ran the wrong thing, lined up wrong. I mean, if you switch this, if you had Dallas Goedert running the seam route and Devontae Smith running the crossing route, it creates a little more space. It puts this guy in a little more conflict. It puts this guy on more of an island. But as it is, this just doesn't work. And this is on play design or maybe execution. I can't imagine this is how it was designed. But Hurts is able to get out of the pocket and just throw the ball away on 2nd and 1. Now let's get to a play design that did work. I loved this play call. This is the touchdown pass to Saquon Barkley. And so the Eagles are going to start out with an orbit motion here from Johnny Wilson. And then at the snap of the ball, we're going to get double post routes to try to pull these safeties off. You're going to get a play action pass to Saquon Barkley. We're going to pull Landon Dickerson over here to sell a play fake. We're really trying to draw the linebacker in, make him think he's responsible for a run fit. But all we're trying to do is isolate Saquon Barkley releasing on this wheel route to the pylon through the B gap. And so you watch this play out. We're just trying to draw this guy in. And I love Hurts' footwork here on this one. We'll come back to that. But he's able to create space, put this ball right on the money to Saquon for a touchdown. Now, I mentioned liking the footwork here. anytime you're pulling a guy over to the side here, you're creating a weakness on the left side in your pass protection. So look where Hurts is starting here. He's on the left hash. He knows where this is going to be weak. And so watch his drop here. He just drops over towards the right hash. We're moving sideways. Now we set the feet and we make that throw. It's a beautiful play design. It's a beautiful throw. It's a touchdown. Now let's go to beating the blitz. This was a concern for the Eagles last season. The Packers didn't really throw six-man pressures at the Eagles, but they did try to bring some blitzes, and I thought the Eagles had really good answers. So one of the first instances here, you're going to see Hurts point at A.J. Brown. He's seeing the blitz. He's adjusting this at the line of scrimmage, and A.J. Brown is just going to run an out route. And that's where the Eagles are going to go. A.J. Brown is isolated in off-man coverage as long as this blitz comes, which it does. And Hurts is going to stand in the pocket, and he gets the ball out to Brown. It's a short of the sticks, but one-on-one against A.J. Brown, no chance. And that's going to move the chains. Now, I do think, I'm glad there's an answer to the blitz. It's not the answer I would choose. I would love to see instead when this blitzing corner comes that Devontae Smith, we just hit the ball right here. Just hit it to him fast. I would rather you throw into the free runner instead of away from him, because it allows you not to take the shot in the back that Hurts is going to take on this play. I mean, if the ball's out right now to Devontae Smith, that's an easy first down. But instead, Hurts does take a pretty big hit in the back. Those hits do accumulate over seasons, but the Eagles have shown a tendency that they want to throw away from that blitz. And I don't know if that stems from the tipped passes they were getting last year, if that's just a preference of Hurts. Maybe it's a height thing. He's not the tallest quarterback, and so he likes that clear line of vision. It's just not the way that I would love to see them do it. But regardless, it's an answer to the blitz, and it works. Now let's go to this next play. The Eagles are going to run Will Shipley in orbit motion, and they're going to do that to set up a fake screen. A.J. Brown is just going to run this vertical route to run it off, and Devontae Smith is going to come out like he's going to fake block this guy, and then he releases into the void created by A.J. Brown. So again, I love this design. Just watch it. This guy's biting down. Devontae Smith's going to come block him. You've got to respect A.J. Brown over the top. Whoop. Look at the void to throw this football into. And I also love the placement by Jalen Hurts on this, because there's a world where he leads Devontae Smith, where he throws this ball up here, and the cornerback is able to recover, collision the catch point, or maybe he just makes a hit on Devontae Smith right after he catches it. Instead, Hurts sits Devontae Smith down here. He doesn't throw him into contact. He throws him here so he can secure the catch, and he's got the opportunity to try to make guys miss after the catch, which he does make a guy miss, and he's able to pick up more yardage than if Hurts had hit him in stride. So I think that's an intentional sitting Devontae Smith down, throwing him away from contact, and I love to see that from the Eagles. On this next one, we're going to get single high coverage after the snap. So this safety comes screaming down. We're going to get a rotation over. That basically leaves A.J. Brown one-on-one. And A.J. Brown is just going to run a curl route. You have to respect the vertical route. They don't later, and it costs them. And then he's going to come back, and Hurts is going to have the ball out to him. We're drawing this linebacker out to the flat with the running back. So just watch this. Brown physical at the catch point. I mean, let's be honest, that's offensive pass interference, but always commit OPI because it almost never gets called. And look at the anticipation with which Hurts throws this ball. Hurts is winding up to throw now. I mean, A.J. Brown's not open, but he's going to be, and Hurts knows that. Ball's out on target, and A.J. Brown breaks a tackle and picks up a few more yards. Thought that's a really good play as well. Now this mesh is one of my favorite play designs, and I'm sure you're familiar with mesh, but if you're not, mesh is just two underneath drag routes, essentially. And on this particular one, Devontae Smith is going to run a crossing route too. Johnny Wilson's running some sort of vertical route that cuts. I don't know if it's a dig. That would be my guess. But he slips and falls down. But we're just watching A.J. Brown. He's coming across to attempt to collision Dallas Goedert's guy to get him open against man coverage. And this is teach tape from A.J. Brown. He's right in the corner's way, or looks like I'm going to run over you. Then he jumps out of the way, and the corner hits the dirt trying to avoid him. This is on 3rd and long. This is against pressure. That's an easy completion for a first down. It's halftime here on the channel. If you're enjoying this content, be sure that you check out my podcast network, the Eagles Pin Pull Network. We've got 6 shows a week covering everything from film review to college prospects to upcoming previews for Eagles opponents. So if you like the Eagles, I think you're going to like this feed. We've also just launched a daily podcast on the feed that's 5 to 10 minutes of quick hitter Eagles news, perfect for your morning coffee or your lunch break. And so if you enjoy this, be sure you check that out. I think you'll really like it. Now let's get back to the video. There just weren't a lot of easy answers against pressure last year, and we really saw that come out in this game. Now, let's talk about this next play. At the bottom of the screen, on this play, Hurts is going to open up to the top of the field. Okay, we've got 3 receivers at the top. We've got Dallas Goedert at the bottom, and we've got Kenny Gainwell at the bottom. Now, Goddard's going to run a corner route that is actually going to get open, but it's not what Hurts is going to throw. He's going to end up coming back to this check down to Kenny Gainwell. But let's just watch this play roll. He opens to the top. There's really just nothing there, right? We're passing on. We've got contact with the receiver here, and then we're going to bail underneath. This is covered up. There's really nowhere for Hurts to go with this ball, and so he eliminates it quickly. I would love to see him from a clean pocket check his route downfield, because I do think there's a possibility this is a touchdown if he makes this throw to Dallas Goedert. He doesn't look at him. I don't hate that you just immediately come to the check down and get the ball out. Getting Hurts to a check down has been something that we've really wanted to see from the Eagles, and so seeing him get to the check down and get it out is good in this situation. You know, maybe the next step in his game, you'd like to see him, when he's not under pressure, check his other deep route. And it's probably not going to be there often. It is here at this point in time, but he gets it out to Gainwell. Gainwell makes 2 guys miss, and he's going to end up picking up the first down. So a positive play when nothing was open front side. It's a development that you really like to see from Hurts. Now on this next play, at the bottom of the screen, well, first of all, we're going to get motion from Johnny Wilson. It's orbit motion again. And then at the snap, we're going to get Devontae Smith is going to run a post route, and Dallas Goedert is going to sort of chip and then release on a wheel route. Again, Dallas Goedert's going to be open here, but Hurts is not going to get to this one. We're going to get the running back just sort of coming out into the flat, and Hurts is going to end up leaving the pocket on this play. But if we just watch it here, he's looking over the middle, I think at A.J. Brown. He's probably hoping to open this up. If this post route is taken away by the safety, you need to look at Dallas Goedert here. And this linebacker is in conflict. He's got to carry Goedert and cover the flat. And so he's got to open his hips here. This is a throw. This is where Hurts should be making this throw, in my opinion. This throw should be coming back here and let Dallas Goedert run under it for a touchdown, similarly to what you did with Saquon Barkley. If you're not going to do that, just get the ball out to Gainwell. Hurts doesn't do either one of these things. He's going to step up and flush from the pocket. At this point, that's still okay. Like, we've missed a touchdown. It would be a tough throw. It's from a collapsing pocket. I'd like to see you make it, but I'm not going to hate too much that you didn't. But now we're out of the pocket, and we take a sack. This is with 30 seconds left and 1 timeout. The Eagles would have to spend their final timeout. You cannot take a sack in this situation. I mean, as we watch from the back view here, I just think that when Hurts starts to drop his eyes to run here, there's room to make this throw to Dallas Goedert. But if you don't make that throw and you get out of the pocket, you can now throw the ball away. Throw it away. Like, what are you going to do at this point? It's like he tries to hesitate and get outside the corner. The corner's not going to bite on that. He knows he's got help on the inside. He's coming for you. You just need to throw this ball away. Live to play another down. Save your timeout so you can have an opportunity to go score. That was a really bad sack. It was a poor decision by Jalen Hurts to end the first half. But starting out the second half, we get a lot better look here from the Eagles offense. We're going to get, right away we get the big play. It's going to be A.J. Brown on a double move. And I like just switching Dallas Goedert and A.J. Brown here. You motion him behind. It just makes the corner think and react. And, we talked about when you're isolated in single high coverage, we got one high safety. You're on an island. They have to respect that vertical route threat. And Jair Alexander doesn't. He bites on the out route, and A.J. Brown just goes flying by him. And we'll see from the back view, you can see Hurts looking at this safety, keeping him on the hash, and then he puts the ball upfield, and this is a great run after the catch. This isn't a touchdown for a lot of players. Like, this tackle should be made by the corner of the safety, and A.J. Brown's just so good after the catch. But we can watch from the back view. Look where Hurts' eyes are right now. He's looking straight ahead at this safety. He doesn't want to tip off that we're going to A.J. Brown. Now, if you're a safety playing the Eagles and it's not Devontae Smith on the other side, but it's Johnny Wilson, maybe you just start cheating anyways. But the Packers don't in this situation. I like the subtlety of that pocket movement. Mekhi Becton gets his guy on the ground, and Hurts just shuffles to the left and resets the feet. And that's a good throw. On the money, A.J. Brown takes it in for 6. Now, on this next one, the Packers are going to send pressure, and the Eagles are sort of running like an all curls concept. This is the Kellen Moore special. I'm not sure if this is a side adjust by Grant Calcaterra, if it's just where Hurts naturally goes to, but nobody's going to be on him, right? We've got this guy blitzing. He's going to open up to the 2 wide receiver side, and so Calcaterra just sits down here. Whether that's by design automatically or not, Hurts finds him immediately. This is how I'd like you to get the ball out against the blitz. Just find the guy in space. Beating the blitz doesn't have to be hard, and you move the chains. And so I love seeing those quick hitters against the blitz. But what I don't love seeing, and Hurts throws 2 interceptions in the game. This is not one of them, but for my money, this is the worst throw that he made. And so on this play, we're going to run the fake screen again. So we get a fake screen to Jahan Dotson. We've got Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown both releasing vertically, and it just doesn't work. They don't bite on it. Hurts tries to sell it. We've got one guy. We've got 2 guys here. This isn't open. Now, I would love to see, I don't really love 2 vertical releasing routes here, because if only one of these guys bites on the screen, one guy can still sort of cover both of these and make this tough. I'd like to see A.J. Brown maybe hit the slant, a skinny post, something like that, and Devontae Smith get to the back pylon. So I would like a little better, different design here. It doesn't matter on this one. I would also love to see somebody coming across the middle here. There's just nowhere for Hurts to go by the time you eliminate this. Not that he comes to the backside, but if he does, these are too late on outbreaking routes. So maybe you design this a little differently. Maybe we've got like a post route and a go route, and maybe Grant Calcaterra runs an in route or something like that. It just gives you another option. I would like to see that, but it's not the best design. It doesn't work. We've seen the fake screen work earlier, and that's just a terrible throw. You can't make that throw. That should have been a pick 6, potentially costing the Eagles a game. You can't throw that late when a guy's just standing right there. And I think Hurts knows that. I think he would love to have that one back. Hopefully we don't see him make mistakes like that moving forward. But on the very next play, we've got a 3rd, and I don't think it's goal. I think it's like first down marker at the 1-yard line, but it's 3rd down. And after almost throwing an interception the play before, I would think you would be super cautious here. But Jalen Hurts isn't. He's going to stay aggressive. And you're up by 5 at this point with, like, I think it was like 8 or 9 minutes remaining. No, it's 13 minutes remaining. A field goal puts you up 8 points. Like, the Packers would have to score and go for 2, which they already failed once in this game, to be able to tie it. A field goal is very valuable here. And I just don't think that you can run this. You can make this throw. So as we watch this play, you're going to see an out route and a corner route at the top of the screen. And on the bottom of the screen, you're going to see a concept called double China 7. Which is 2 in routes and then a 7 route, a corner route here to Devontae Smith. Now, I've seen people say online Dallas Goedert's open, and Dallas Goedert is open on this play. Like, this is a touchdown. More than likely, if we put this ball on Goedert, he's probably going to score at the front pylon. That's not on Hurts. This is a pick-a-side concept. He picks the 3 receiver side, so we're eliminating this side right away. And so we can't, obviously don't know what's going to be open pre-snap. Maybe he's specifically told to pick this side. Maybe he just likes it by alignment. But we're not going to say anything about missing Goedert on that because it's just not in the progression the way he opens. But if we look at the bottom, we've got the dual in routes and the corner route. Now, the in routes aren't really open. Right, it's a pretty good job there. The collision, Quay Walker is sitting right in A.J. Brown's path. You don't necessarily trust Johnny Wilson even if he was open, but he's not. And so you're looking at Devontae Smith again to this back pylon. This is the throw that I would like you to make in that situation. I mean, it's going to be a tight window, but you can put this in a place where only Devontae Smith can catch it or nobody can. You can also sit in this pocket. Like, I don't think you have to roll out here. But even right now, if you're throwing this ball, you can put this ball towards the pylon. Like, this corner is not going to be able to catch up and undercut that. The safety is going to collision the catch point, but you trust Devontae Smith in that situation. But Hurts rolls out, and he tries the ill-fated throw to A.J. Brown. And some of you have seen Brian Baldinger's video where A.J. Brown slips, and that's true. I still just think this is a bad throw. Like, if you set right here and start to make that throw as A.J. Brown breaks, like, A.J. Brown is open now. He's starting to look back for the ball. Watch how many more steps Jalen Hurts takes before he makes this throw. He runs all the way from the hash. Like, it's open now. He runs all the way from the hash out to the numbers before he makes this throw. Now, it's an incredible play by Jair Alexander to go undercut it. It's just late. And so you can't throw across your body in the red zone. You can't throw late in the red zone. And when you combine the two, especially given this situation, I just don't like it. I think it's too aggressive. And there's a bad decision by Jalen Hurts. And it costs the Eagles here as the Packers get the interception. And so now we go to the last drive, and the Eagles are going on one of their patented 7 minutes bleed out the clock with the lead drives. And after a first down loss, they get a 2nd and 12, and the Packers are going to dial up a blitz. Now the Eagles go to one of their concepts that they went to earlier in the game. It's going to be A.J. Brown on this out route, and that's the primary. And Hurts doesn't like it, but one of the things I love about the play design is you've got Devontae Smith running this drag route, coming into Hurts' field of vision. And so if we watch this, Hurts is opened at the top of the field. We're looking over here. If you're old school Madden player, you got the vision cone. And A.J. Brown is right in this vision cone. That's where we want to go with the ball. And it's not open, but we're running another route directly into that field of vision. And Hurts gets the ball out to Devontae Smith. And Devontae Smith breaks a tackle and he picks up the first down. And ultimately the Eagles ice the game. So there you have it. There's some ups and downs from the Eagles opening game. I thought overall the offense performed well considering some of the changes and the field conditions. Obviously, you have 3 turnovers in the game, a botched snap that you assume will be ironed out over time, and the 2 interceptions from Jalen Hurts. I just thought that for the most part, the thing that Jalen Hurts struggled with in this game was decision making, and that doesn't seem like it's been a big issue for him. Over the last couple of seasons, the bigger issue has been the blitz, which he seemed to handle pretty well. Obviously, the Packers didn't bring all-out pressure, but I expect to see Jalen Hurts bounce back. There's some bailing from the pocket that's still going on, and I think you're just going to have to live with that with Hurts as he tries to go make plays on the perimeter. But all in all, I feel better about their performance after rewatching the film than I did watching it live, and I'm excited to see what they can do in Week 2 in the home opener on Monday Night Football against the Atlanta Falcons.